Hello and welcome. My name is Bubba Fabes and welcome to my channel. Today I'm here to talk to you guys about the brand new Season 2 of Rainbow Six Siege as well as the newly released Velvet Shell Pass. Now, before I get into that, there is one thing I want to talk to you guys first, and this is a news article from PC Gamer speaking with the brand director Alexander Remy. In this article, Remy talks about Rainbow Six Siege and what the DNA of it is and what the future has in store. Now, in year one, there was a game mode released just as promised, but it was an awful game mode, not even option to play in online gameplay. It had to be selected in kind of a local gameplay scenario, and it wasn't even that fun. I'm sure most people even forgot about it. So this left a lot of people asking, when are new game modes coming out? When are we going to get these game modes? And I'm here to tell you and break the news that there won't be any more game modes according to Remy in this article. The future of Rainbow Six Siege is going to be that of a MOBA style idea. And when I say this, I'm not talking about tower defense and minions. I'm talking about the idea of many operators. In this article, he says that they plan on doing a minimum of 50 operators, but with the idea of reach up to 100. Now, with this comes a lot of questions, and I want to know your thoughts. Would you have liked to seen a new kind of gameplay added into and a new kind of mode to play, something to make things fresh again, change things up a little bit, kind of add a new idea to maps? Or are you happy with this idea of many operators? Now, the big question of adding more operators is, and we've already kind of experienced this, is Rainbow Six Siege is a tactical, realistic shooter. And when you add some operators that kind of break the realism, does it break the game? We've kind of come across a few that I feel have been a little bit edgy on the mark of realism. Drones that can go invisible, players that can look at footprints and make marks of that where that player is on the map. At what point do you think they'll run out of ideas and have to incorporate more realistic operators to reach that goal? But will that also make it feel more like something like Overwatch, where you can just have these magical abilities? Will that break the game? Let me know your thoughts down below, and if you want to read more up on this, I'll leave it down in the description below to give you guys that. But getting back into year 2 and Velvet Shell release. This new year is going to provide a lot of focus on the health of Rainbow Six Siege. They're going to be tackling a lot of the hit reg problems, trying to focus in a lot of that and make that a lot smoother experience, as well as they're making huge changes to the matchmaking system, trying to get us into games faster and kind of cut down on a lot of the errors and stuff that comes along with trying to find matches, as well as even connecting with your friends. Now, in the new Velvet Shell, we do get a fantastic new upgrade to our main menu. Not only do we get a little bit neater and cooler looking navigational system, we also get access to all of the main menu options and character changing abilities while we're searching for a match. No longer do you have to sit there just twiddling your thumbs or have to back out of a game search just because one of your friends forgot to buy an ACOG for a certain gun. It allows you to do all of this while searching for that match. So thank you for that, Ubisoft. This is a fantastic change that is coming in the Velvet Shell release. Now, before I get into talking about the new operators, there's a few little game changes in Velvet Shell that I would love to draw your attention to that I feel is of some importance. The first of this being a harmonization of all the sights positions in first-person camera. Now, when they're talking about this, they're talking about where the sights are located from one gun to another. Some guns have the sights pushed further down, making it harder to look through them. So with this update, it's basically harmonizing them, so it's making them all a little bit more equal, so it's bringing some of them closer to the camera, and it's giving you an all-around equal gameplay from one hollow gun to another. Now, this next change is only affecting PC gamers, and those of you who know about the Alt-Enter character operator change, basically once the timer ran out and you had your character, if someone's stuck loading for a while, you could Alt-Enter out, come back in, back out, and re-change and select some of your characters while that player was loading. So that has been taken out, and that is no longer available to do. The next couple of changes are going to be about some of the operator gadget changes. In this one, there is only 2, Capital and IQ. Capital loses his 2 frag grenades, gaining 1 Claymore. IQ gets 2 frag grenades instead of her stun grenades. So those are going to be the only character gadget changes, though they're still a pretty big one. Capitao losing those grenades, that's what made him a huge operator, great utilities, and hopefully maybe now that kind of gives IQ a little bit better of a pick rate, but I don't think so considering Buck still has his grenades and he's a much more rounded character than IQ. So we'll see how that turns out. The last change that I'm going to talk about is a change in the rank badges. Now you'll notice these little medallions have been changing every kind of couple of seasons, and now it's just going to be a little bit easier to tell who's what rank. This more of a banner kind of style, as well as the change is beforehand it used to be rank 1 was the lowest, 4 was the highest. So if you're gold 1, you're trying to push your way up to gold 4 before hitting plat 1. Now it's in that reverse kind of order where plat or gold 4 is the lowest and you're pushing your way up to gold 1 before you hit plat 4, plat 3, pushing your way down to plat 1 and then eventually diamond. So that changes there. So when you get that kind of gold 4 as your first rank, don't get too excited. That is no longer the top. Sorry to break the news to you. Now finally getting into some of the operators. Now for those of you who've been hiding under a rock and have not been keeping up with the new Rainbow Six Siege hype about these new operators, we have Mira and we have Jackal. Now I'm going to talk a little bit about Jackal first. He's going to be the attacking operator. His special ability is going to be that of an anti-roamer. He has a visor that can spot footprints that were left up to 90 seconds before, which in a ranked game is pretty much the whole time. These footprints will range in color from red to about like a green. As the footprints are there longer, it gets colder, and thus you can tell how recent someone's been there. He also has the ability to do a 3-time action where he can spot and scan the footprints, leaving a marker on the player that left it once every 10 seconds for 30 seconds. So he can do that 3 times and it'll continually ping the player every 10 seconds. Sounds a little bit OP, so normally brand new characters are. The defending operator, Myra, her special ability is windows. These are bulletproof one-way mirrored windows that can be placed on reinforced and unreinforced walls, giving the defenders the ability to see out without the attackers seeing in. Also, there's a little canister under the window. If you change your mind on the one-way mirror, breaking the canister will break that glass, allowing you to shoot out, but also allowing the attackers to shoot in, so use that wisely. Now just taking a quick look out at some of the loadouts. Myra has the access for her primary a shotgun or the Vector, secondary access to a shorty shotgun or a USP pistol, gadgets being deployable shield or the nitro cell as a low speed high armor operator. Now over to Jackal, he gets access to the C70 assault rifle, again the same shotgun, or a little PDW submachine gun. Again, same secondaries, this little shorty shotgun or the USP pistol, with a breaching charge or a stun grenade gadget option. He will be a medium speed, medium armor operator. Well guys, that is all the big news and big changes that has gone on recently. Of course, there is much more. If you're interested in all the finite details, you can check out the patch notes. I'll leave that in the description down below. Now, if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe to my channel to keep up to date on all the biggest news, information, and guides on Rainbow Six Siege. And until next time, my friends, I will see you later. The rappels on the south side of the building, aim at the very top of that tree. It should land perfectly, giving you a great view all along that side of the building on any of those rappels or the balcony push. Now, the next one, this one can also be used for a great one if you're guarding the garage, because it can give you that view of that garage push, as well as just the west side of the building if that's where they're rappelling to. Aiming up into that tree, lands that camera perfectly, giving you a great view on that entire area. Now,